It's been over a decade since the Minnesota Timberwolves have made it to the playoffs, and tonight they return to the hardwood at home to face the Houston Rockets in Game 3. Let's head over to ABC 6 Sports Director Sean Tehan. He's live from Target Center with what longtime fans are saying about tonight's game. Sean?
Well, Elise, like you said, more than a decade. It's been 14 years exactly since the Timberwolves last hosted an NBA playoff game, and you can sense the energy outside the Target Center here in Minneapolis just before the game. And it's safe to say there are a lot of Minnesota fans who don't really remember the last time the Timberwolves actually hosted a playoff game. Now, before the game, there were plenty of fans walking here outside the arena. And I spoke with one fan specifically who says he's excited for playoff basketball returning. It's a nice change knowing the Wolves aren't preparing for next season right now.
I don't remember too much. I was probably in like 5th grade. I was 11 years old.
Well, for the sake of Timberwolves fans, Max better be right. The Timberwolves, they're facing an uphill battle against the Houston Rockets, the best team in the NBA in the regular season this year. They trail the Rockets 2-0 in the best-of-7 series, so they really need a win tonight. The Timberwolves, you'll hear from them coming up later in sports. Elise, let's send it back to you in studio. Well, Diana, it will be an uphill battle for the Timberwolves here at Target Center tonight. Entering Game 3, they trail the Houston Rockets 2-0 in the best-of-7 series, but more importantly, playoff basketball. It's finally back here in Minnesota. The Wolves host Houston again in tonight's Game 3, and they will host the Rockets on Game 4 on Monday. And they need to win at least one of those games to avoid elimination from the playoffs. For that to happen, they'll need to limit a Rockets team that likes to shoot the 3-ball and shoot it well. Regardless of what happens this evening, though, this year's team should take pride in taking the Wolves back to the promised land.
It's about our fans. It's about Minnesota not being able to be recognized the way that it should be.
The Rockets and Timberwolves are set to tip off in just minutes from now. Tip-off is scheduled for about 6:30. I will be back here at 10 o'clock this evening. Diana, let's send it back to you in studio.
Director Sean Tehan was up at Target Center all night for the game. And Sean, the Wolves got the most out of their starters and a big bonus from a former league star.
Yeah, Diana, the Timberwolves starting 5 was outstanding, but it was their backup point guard and a former NBA MVP in Derrick Rose. He was the difference maker in the win against Houston tonight. And Rose, again, he was outstanding in the win. He scored 17 points off the bench, provided some flashes of his old self from his Chicago Bulls days. But we had a chance to catch up with Rose and some of his teammates after the win. Safe to say, it was nice to see Rose get back to his old ways.
Derrick, I mean, this guy was the youngest MVP ever. People seem to forget that. They really do, and I don't know why, but his peers know how good he is, you know, and so for us, it's a blessing for him to be on this team, and we want to see everybody succeed, and we want to just win games.
My confidence always been there. If anything, I just got to stick with my routine. Wherever I'm doing is working, and I just got to stick with it. The past is the past. I don't even want to talk about my younger years.
Well, yeah, the present is looking very good for Rose in the short term. Anyways, the Wolves, they will face the Rockets back here at the Target Center in Game 4 of their Western Conference playoff series. Houston now leads the best-of-7 series 2-1. These teams will be back here again on Monday night for Game 4. Live in Minneapolis, Sean Tehan, ABC 6 News.